Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review for Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 4, which is the after the wedding and the beginning of the honeymoon. So, y'all know this will not be long. But y'all know first things first, if you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channels, okay? To become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Subscribe to Jaylee's Corner. Subscribe to Jaylee's Corner Talk. Y'all know Jaylee's Corner Talk is my backup channel. The link to that channel is in the description box below this very video. So subscribe to both, please, and thank you. Okay, it's content on both channels. Okay, do not forget to also like this video, comment in the comment section. You can hit the share button to share it on your social media. Y'all know to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you, and also inhale and exhale because it helps. Okay, y'all know, follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner on IG, but JayLee's Corner on Twitter. Okay, let's get into these couples. Okay, so it's the day after the wedding. Okay, and I'm like, well, how was everyone doing? What's going on with the 5 couples who could go either? Like, all of these couples can go either way. Okay, because we've seen the preview, we've seen them, after the wedding, and like no one seems to not like their spouse. But we know things change as things go on. Okay, let's start with Ryan and Brett, who I'm gonna say is the most boring so far because while they like each other, he don't talk much. Okay, and she's still gonna figure him out because he don't talk much or whatever. Okay, so we do see it's the night of the wedding and everything, and it's like they were awkward. But I feel like he was tipsy and she was maybe a little bit tipsy too. So it's like neither one of them was making any sense in my head. And I'm like, are they just talking for nothing? I'm not sure. She wants to make sure that he likes her. Oh, natural. She don't like being all done up. Okay, she don't like all that. So she's hoping that, okay, he will like me nonetheless or whatever. And I'm like, I guess so. Now, she did say that she feels like he might be someone that she never knew she needed. Okay, and he said, "I am very open to this being going either way. I really like her. He's happy with married with, but he's like, I don't, I'm open to whatever happens. Okay, I like her, but things go south. I guess that's okay too. I'm like, whatever. Now we do know the day after the wedding, they always meet with other person's family. So he met with her parents. He didn't have not one question to ask them about their daughter, who was now his wife. How do you not ask them what's her shoe size? What's her last name? Did she graduate from college? Does she have nipples? I don't know. You could just ask things. Well, don't ask that question. But again, I'm like, how do you not have any questions? But again, he don't talk much. He's very quiet. Okay, and sometimes you have to watch out for the quiet ones. Okay. We don't know if he'll kill yet. We don't know, okay? But there's always one in every bunch, okay? Anyway, we see that she meets with his family and she asked his people, why do y'all think they match us? And I was like, ma'am, they don't know you. So they don't know why y'all were matched because they don't know you. I'm like, that's a dumbass question, whatever. But she brings up again how she prefers to be very authentic or whatever, and she wants to be accepted for who she is. She does not want to. She doesn't want him to like the polished version of her. Okay, let me think about my makeup. See the bare me, and you need to like this me, not wedding me. Okay, I'm like fine, but they do tell her that he is very, very smart. He's very, very shy. Not smart. Not that he's stupid, but they say he's very, very shy. Okay, he's an introvert, so you have to kind of yank his chain or whatever and talk to him, ask him questions. If you do that, it'll be easier for him to let loose around you. I can do that. I'm very talkative, but again, are you really? Because I think she is. Because even when they were talking to girl, when they were talking after this about what happened, he made it seem as if he had a full-fledged conversation with her. People look like, but you didn't. So you lied. You lied already. Is his name Brett? Is he right? I don't know. I can't tell them apart. But again, I'm like, they're boring, but I think just for right now. Okay. But again, that's it for them right now. Next we have Johnny and Bow. Okay, bow, bow, bow. Anyway, so they were getting ready for the wedding night. They were going to bed or whatever. And he tells her, like, if you feel uncomfortable, like, let me know, okay? I don't want you to not tell me if things feel awkward for you. Because he said, like, I know it's going to take her time to feel, okay with me being around her or whatever, because I know her, but not like this. So I want her to feel secure or whatever. And I would definitely let you know because she's nervous too about, them being together or whatever. Okay. But again, as she said too, I know him, but I don't know him. That's true. But I don't know. So the following morning or whatever, we do see a conversation between them to where they had each other's phone numbers prior to this, because they went to college together, and she like went through her old texts and realized he ghosted her years ago. Back when he was like Playboy Johnny, she's like, you asked me on a date. Okay, you asked me on a date, and I did not know if it was like a friendly date, and it was a flirty date, but you were kind of flirty a little bit or whatever, but you never really responded, after the fact to my text. He said, I can make up for that now because I'm not that person anymore. Okay, so I'm like, damn, your husband ghosted you a long, long time ago. Now, when he meets with her people or whatever, who tells him how upset she was at the wedding gifts that was it's y'all, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm just tripping. But the wedding gift that she gave so I don't want to pause. I hope it doesn't pause because it's saying my signal is weak. Okay, let's hope it doesn't go away. Anyway, but yeah, they tell him how she was very unhappy with his wedding gift of the jerseys or whatever, and how upset she was and how she was tripping, okay? And then he said, wow, it's okay if she hates sports, but for her to have such a strong reaction based on something so small is like weird to me. I don't know how I can take that. I hope that isn't how she reacts to other things or whatever. So he brings up how, he used to date before a lot and whatnot. And before, when he would date, if it was someone he didn't like, or if it's something about them that if they did something that he didn't like, he would just date somebody else. Okay, so he was dating a whole lot. But this is different because guess what? He's married to her now. And so she does things he don't like. You can't just stop dating her because you're married to her. Anyway, so when she meets with his family, the mom say, well, you can call me mom or aunt because in their culture, you have to respect the parents by, asking them what to be called. So he's either mom or aunt. She picked mom. And they just tell her because she asked about his father. And so the mom said how the dad moved to California a long time ago, whatever. So he basically grew up without his father, but he's an honest person, whatever. He won't fake it with her. And that, if things are not right, he's not going to say, oh, okay, it's fine. No, he's going to say, I don't like that. And he's vocal about that. And I'm like, well, I guess he is. Now, the aunts and the mama started joking about, oh, you guys should have kids. We want grandkids. We want nieces and nephews or whatever. And that does not make Bao feel comfortable. She felt very, very uncomfortable with that whole conversation, but she didn't say much or whatever. But when him and her go and talk about the different lunches or whatnot, they do bring up his father, and he's like, I'm still hurt that he isn't supportive of me or whatever. He's like, he's stuck in the 70s. And, that hurts me, but I still love him. And I like that. She said, you know what? I will do whatever I have to do to make him accept our, marriage. I'll talk to him, and then, was it in Vietnamese? I think maybe Vietnamese or whatever language he speaks. I will speak to him in that language or whatever. I'll do whatever it is he needs, to see to be okay with us being married or whatever. So that was cute. Next up, Jose and Rachel. Okay, look, we seen them get undressed, okay, and go to bed and stuff, and she was the only one who wore like a nightie. Okay, she wore like a little nightie or whatever, and we do see they like each other. They are attracted to each other. They both, are communicating with each other. So it's a good thing. Now, I did notice, the feminine side of his antics, how he talks or whatever. Y'all know the ladies, Jamie, Niecy, and Bondi, be saying how they think he may be gay. Um, I'm not convinced yet, only because I be like, I don't want to hear someone and see someone's mannerisms and then say they must be gay because they say, you cannot stereotype people. And so I be trying not to do that all the time because I'm like, he made his beef, he don't have to be gay, but I don't know. I still wonder too because I noticed it this time. I did, but I do not want to say, oh, he's gay. But I did notice it. Okay, they showed him like stirring some tea and how he talks a little bit sometimes. So I did notice. Okay. Anyway, the little thing is up to again. It's this girl. Anyway, let's hope all this looks good, y'all. If you watching right now, tell me if the signal is good. Okay, let me know if you can see and hear me in the comments section. Anyway, so the following morning or whatever, they both said had a good time or whatever, hugging and kissing all night and talking. They didn't say sex. They said kissing or whatever and talking and whatnot. Okay. Now when he meets with her people or whatever, they tell him that she's messy. Okay, she's focusing on working. She focuses on school, and she don't be focusing on cleaning up. So she's not a look. She's not a cleaner. Okay, and her car is also very not neat. Okay, so she is not a neat freak at all. But we know he is. Okay, we know he is because he said he was. Anyway, they also tell him how she takes mental notes of stuff that she doesn't like. Oh, really? Okay. But they also say that she has like if she's mad or whatever, you cannot ask her a whole bunch of questions that'll piss her off. If y'all hear like booming, it's the thunder. Cause I hear it. I don't know if y'all hear it. Anyway, but yeah, so he's taking in how she is or whatever and what he could do to possibly upset her. So, but he's like, okay, this is a lot. And they also say how she's not did they mention her not being that good in finance? I can't remember. But when she met with his family, they told her he's very, very structured. Okay, very structured or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not into spending a lot of money. He has a whole board on his wall. That's his spreadsheet to show us what he's spending. That's fine for me because I have a whole spreadsheet too on my computer though, not on my wall. That's my monthly bills. Okay, you want to be sure what you do, what you get, what you're saving, what you're spending, all that stuff. Okay, so I don't think that's weird. Now she's like, I'm happy for that because I am not savvy when it comes to money and all that stuff. So I'm happy to have a husband who is. I hope so. They do have a conversation or whatever about her, what they both talked about, and they bring up her and her little mental notes. She's like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just, before I used to hold stuff in, and so it would make me blow up when I would get mad. Like, because I've been holding it all in, I'll see a dirty dish in the sink and then I blow up. But I communicate now, so that is not really a big thing anymore. I'm like, okay, it's weird when someone tells you all the bad stuff because it makes you feel like that's all they are. So I'm like, I don't like some of this, but again, you also want to know. So he also brings up as far as finance stuff, whatever, that he will, he wants to get them to where they need to be. He's worked a long time. He's paid this off and paid it off to where they will be good getting to a better place financially together. I was like, if you say so. We then have Myrla and Gil. Honey, my signal is at like a 0. I'm like, I hope I'm not fuzzy because it say my connection is unstable, but I'm not surprised because again, these storms. Anyway, Gil and Myrla, they are in bed chit chatting or whatever. This is after the wedding. They're in the bed, that night of the wedding, and they're discussing how both of their fathers were murdered. Okay, Gil's dad was killed in 1999. He was 14 years old at the time, and his dad was shot during a home robbery. So that was traumatic for him, and because he was home too. Now I'm real dad's 2015, but she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. Like, even though he offered to rub her feet, no, Gil, I want to go to bed. So she went to bed. However, the following morning, yeah, I know you was tired last night. What happened to your daddy? And I'm like, oh, he really wants to know. But sometimes when you went through that, you also want to know someone else's story because you get the pain or whatever. And so she was open to tell it then. So her father had remarried, okay, and her father's new wife had a daughter. And the daughter would say that her father would like harass her. The daughter also said how was supposedly that day the daughter texted him to come over. He went over there and her father's wife's daughter, so her stepsister, and the stepsister's husband stabbed the daddy to death and then dumped the man's body somewhere but later on confessed to the murder. And I'm like, what? The fact that he's like, that's some TV shit. Wow. I was like, that was crazy. So again, they both experienced traumatic ways that their father left them. That's very, very crazy. Now we see he meets with her male friends and her brother. The male friend brings up how they've been her friend for 10 years or whatever, how they're her protector. And he's like, look, my goal here is to have a lasting marriage or whatever. I don't have any ill intent here with her, whatever. I'm here for the, for real deal or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I think we may have issues with finance because she likes to spend, 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 and she does not want to change that for anyone. Now, the brother then said, well, I handle her finances. I know all of her financial stuff or whatever. And before she spends anything, she saves money first. So she's not like just out here just frivolously spending money. And they how she can sustain her own life fully on her own. Okay, she, is not going to need to ask you for anything. You know what I'm saying? And she does not need a man, but she just wanted one. And I was like, something about that made me say, okay, I think you're lying. But I'm like, I just realized I don't have lipstick on. Um, because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, he brings up how, okay, that's fine, I can respect it. So I think he doesn't mind the fact that she seems to still be money conscious, even if she spends money frivolously. Two things for her is happening at the same time, but we shall see. Now, when she met with his friends or whatever, and I feel like the right friends met with both of them because his friends was like honest with her too, but also scoping her out or whatever. They tell her how he's like a loyal person or whatever, and he's very vocal about things, but he's not going to be out here like being sneaky or whatever. He gonna let you know what's up, but he's very did he say he was loud with his emotions? Something about how he made I don't remember. Anyway, they also bring up how one thing he would not like is if your behavior doesn't match what you say. Like if you say one thing, but you act differently, he won't like that. Like that would aggravate him. But he would talk to you about it, meaning whatever you do to piss him off, he's gonna tell you about it, okay, and let you know. And then she said, "Well, I told him already that I'm a moody person." And when she said, when I mean moody, I mean like if I want something, if I want to do something or whatever, and I can't do it, I whine. Then you're not moody. You're a whiner. That's two different things. Okay, I'm not girl bye. So when they later on these two discuss finances, and he brings because she's like, I am very much so driven by money. Like that, that's my number one. I'm always figuring out a way to make more money, but mainly because she grew up poor. And his like, he said, well, you can't move me with money. Like money is not what motivates me at all. So that isn't a way to get me to do one thing or the other. He said, I get that, as far as like living and, we have to support each other because we don't want to be homeless. But again, I'm not going to be motivated by that. And I'm like, that may be the one thing that they have that will not work between them. I'm going to leave that be. So we then have Michaela and Zack. Okay. Now we know they are extremely happy with being married. They are happy with each other. It's all cute in the man in the bed, chit chatting or whatever. He brings up how one of his friends recently tested positive for COVID. He brings up how he rarely ever gets sick. So he hoped, knock on wood, he does not catch COVID. I was like, don't say that. Don't do that. So the next morning they chit chatting and whatnot, and because they're asking each other questions about this and that. So she brings up how she can be passive, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Meaning some things I don't care, I don't care, whatever. But also at the same time, it can be like she won't care about stuff, so it's easier for her to like break up with people. And she's like, okay, we working up, okay, fine, it's over, okay, fine. However, if she doesn't care about something, even if it matters, if she don't like something, she won't say nothing about it because she's like, oh, whatever, I don't care, because she's passive. He's like, please don't do that with me. Like, I'm saying, if something bothers you, let me know because I want this to work, and it won't work if if you're not talking to me about what issues we have. Okay, I like that he said that, meaning don't act like shit cool and it ain't cool because that will cause us to do what? Argue and fights. Okay. So that was cute. Now she asked if he's jealous. He said, well, no, not really. Like, I won't get mad about like if I see you talking to a guy like that, won't piss me off. So I'm not I guess I should be more jealous or whatever. So, I mean, okay. Now, she then says she's not jealous, but she's possessive, okay? Because for her, what's mine is mine, okay? Now we'll defend it to the turf. And I'm like, okay, we'll do that. I will say, her saying that she's possessive, but also her saying how she's passive can be a reason she's single. And him being so nice can be the reason he's single, and probably the reason he's never really been in love. Um, so they were great. I can see the little stuff that if they don't, pinpoint now, it's gonna blow up. We waiting to see what called the big Michaela to happen. We don't know what's happening. Anyway, so he meets with her sisters. Again, these are great, 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 great. I like her so much right now. It's great. Okay, couldn't be better. Okay. They advised him how you look. The thing we can say is if she's happy about something, like don't not care. You know what I'm saying? Like if she's happy about something, like gas her up. And I'm like, I don't like that because this is my thing. You can't base your happiness on what makes you happy. That same thing might not be happiness for somebody else. I get saying don't rain on her parade, but he don't have to get as excited or something that she's excited about. He has to support and love her, yes. But I would never want to base on how I feel about something that I got on how happy somebody else is about it, because it ain't for them. They can be happy for me. But it's a thin line. It's a thin line or whatever. They also bring up how she's the youngest. And so because she's the youngest, she's always been protected by the whole family. So she would not even know it, but she's always had protection. She's always had that. She probably would still want that. So, we need to rely on you to be a protector. He said, I can do that, fine. So when she meets with his family, oh Lord, when she met with his family, I was like, oh. So again, she said how great things are. And, his family brings up how he's very, very spoiled, but loyal. He's spoiled, but he's loyal. He's very family orientated. So he loves kids. He's great with children too. And she's like, well, I'm happy about that because she wants kids as well. And so his dad asked her, how do you deal with conflict? And she's like, I can admit that I did not have a great example of that because my parents, who were married for a long time, they would fight, begin to be bad fights. But she then brings up how, but because her dad was killed by a drunk driver, kind of made it even worse. And then she gets emotional. And I was crying with her because she brings up how, that's why I want to thank you to his daddy. She thanks his father because at the wedding, which we did not see, the DJ called for her to come down for the father-daughter dance, not knowing her dad. I guess he should have known her dad. The DJ should have known this lady daddy was dead. Okay, I blame production. And when they called for it, Zack was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'll talk about it later." Because again, Zack don't know. We see her sisters crying in the audience too, and then his dad gets up and asks her, "Can I dance? Can we dance?" So his dad did a dance, father-daughter dance with her. So she thanks him for doing that because she's like, the reason my dad was not there was because my dad was killed. And so that was like, oh God, okay. But she, got it together. But she brings like, I watched them fight like it was bad fights. It was unhealthy arguments I've seen happen. And so whenever possible, I tried not to do that. I tried not to cuss and fuss and call people out there. I tried to not do what I saw. And if possible, I tried to walk away from arguments to cool off. But we see that doesn't always happen, okay? So I was like, lies, bullshit. But she could honestly mean it and not know that this is my thing. I can control my temper too, but sometimes if you push me too far, I hit 10 and I'm on go. So we don't know if, she just hit 10 was on go. I'm leave that be. So the dad told her too how, look, we have protected, we're very protective of Zack, always have been, because he's the youngest too. And so we're trusting that you can protect him as well because we want this to be the real deal. Oh yes, I can do that. And I like that both families wanted the other one to know we need you to protect our person because now I'm there with you. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now we then see all the couples find out they're going to Florida for their honeymoon, for the keys for the honeymoon, and I feel like I'm like Florida. But again, they're from Houston, Texas. Is it Houston? I think they're in Houston this year. Was it Dallas? I don't know. It's in Texas. So a vacation's a vacation. We know that this is COVID times or whatever, so they can't really travel outside the states because it's not safe. So they're going to Florida, the Florida Keys. We see Brett and Ryan, who we see that she hates flying, and because she hates flying, she freaked out on the trip. Now she says even though she doesn't like flying, she'll still fly. But whatever she did, he was like, if I was not, already married to her, if I was just dating her, I would have broke up with her. I was like, what did she do? Like, what happened? Did I miss it? I don't know. But I was like, girl, look, I also do. Look, I do not like flying. I have not flown. The last trip I took where I had to fly was in 2014. Okay. And I cried from on the flight there, on the flight back. And so now if I have to go somewhere, I will drive. Okay. If it's too far, I'm not going. Because I'm the same way. I'm not a flyer. It would have to be a dire emergency. And at that point in time, still too, I would need someone to just knock me out and then let that be that. Because otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. I whatever she did was extra. I'm not gonna do no extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Couple drinks. Oh, at pause. I wasn't even looking. Um, give me a couple drinks and that's it. It paused and I wasn't paying any attention because I was looking at my damn phone. Anyway, but again, that was it with them two. And now with Bao and Johnny, she has an Excel spreadsheet for packing for trips. I was like, Lord Jesus Christ. And Johnny brings up how the day she gets me control of her spreadsheet, that's why I know she loves me. I'm like, that's very, very true. So at the wedding, the honeymoon location at the little hotel or whatever, she like, I don't want you to like, are you sleeping in this bed? Because he brought up how she kind of snores a little bit. And he's like, I don't want you to not get sleep, if I snore. And so when they sit and talk or whatever about things, like, I just want you to be comfortable or whatever. I'm saying I don't. If you want us to slow things down completely, let me know and I'll do that. Because again, I just want you to be comfortable. And then he says, I want you to tell me like what you into. Like what's going on? What are you into? I'm like, cause he asked her about sex, but she answered. She's like, you know what? I'm so happy you thought to ask me that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when you kiss me, but in private, you know what I'm saying? How you kiss me tells me how you'll be as a lover. I was like, bow, 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 bow. What are you doing, girl? Okay, cute. And he's like, okay, cool. She's like, and what are you into? She's like, he's like, you know what? I'm just, pretty. He said, pretty vanilla sex. I said, what is vanilla sex? Is that just plain white people sex? I don't know. He said, as long as it's the penis going into the vagina, that's all I'm into. I'm not into. He's not into anal. Cool, cool, cool. A lot of us aren't. Okay. Now with Rachel and Jose, they're packing to leave. Okay. And he takes all the condoms in the suitcase. She's like, no, 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 no. You saying we can't have babies, that way. And she took the condoms out the bag and she said, you're my husband. I'm like, see, she wants to fuck her husband raw. I told y'all, take advantage of it because he's your husband now. Okay. She know. She is smart. Okay. Anyway, then with Gil and Myrla, she's like, this is like a retirement home. It's just a villa in Florida. It's not near the beach. You can't. The water looks murky, and this is not what I would do for my bitch. This is the free wedding and a free honeymoon. You here complaining when it's dark. You can't even see the shit. Okay, girl, it made me mad. Okay, you are very much so bougie and high maintenance. Okay, because you have been complaining about a free trip to Florida. And then Zack and Michaela get back to their room, and he feels sick. So they have to sleep in the room. The room has two bedrooms, so he sleeps in one, she sleeps in the other. because they're waiting for him to get his COVID test back. I was like, girl, because remember his friend tested positive a few days ago. And so, the day of his wedding, a friend he knew tested positive. So he could be COVID. Anyway, that was the whole thing. I don't know if this thing paused or not while I was talking, but I'm done. Okay, tune in next week for the edition of The Foolishness Continues. Okay, do not forget to like the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channels. Okay, the link to JayLeesCorner Talk is in the description box, girl, in the description box below, and all of that. And other than that, I will see y'all later. Do not forget, we'll be live on Jamie's channel tonight at 9 p.m. for the Ladies First panel. But other than that, gotta go. See you when I see you. Bye.